It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Ain't no way to stop it when a nigga poppin'. Pull up, start a problem, I got plenty options. Homies from the project with a trending topic. I got bennies in my wallet, fuck your money. All I could get, flooded the Nile and I flooded my wrist. Tell me I rap for the glamour and glitz. Got on my shit that they read me on list. Filling my pocket, I'm taking a trip. Call me a genie, I'm filling my wish. When it come down to me and get in my bag, I gotta get it, I pay for the lift. I got a baby, we coming legit. Roll with the big dogs. I need my cut like fit now. Buddy got shot like Sim car. Married to the game like in-laws. Do what I please, move with the breeze. Fly to Belize. Shawty shit love me, she coming to tease. Ready the haters, we cutting the weeds. Give my space, oh man. Got me a taste, oh man. Flood to the face, I'm running a race. I cover the bases, all down. Nigga don't try me, I'm on my square. Cardiac diamonds, I want me a pill. Treat all this money like I got a meal. Everything closer than it might appear, yeah. Bitch, I got my mask on now. I don't want your germs here. I've been getting paid since the first time on my third tip. Popping on the net, fuck a local, I got turf here. Fucking with the squad, we gon' put y'all in some merch, yeah.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this afternoon. So in this video, we're going to be getting into this whole Young Miami, India Arie, spin that controversy that's been going on these last couple of days. When I initially saw India Arie's comments, because I saw them a few days ago when they first were kind of making their rounds on like little pages and stuff, I thought it was like much ado about nothing, honestly. I mean, India Arie is 50 years old. She was a part of the quote unquote so-called neo soul movement. Of course, we know she embraced her natural looks and gave us, relatively positive music and positive messages throughout her career. So I don't understand why anybody would think that she would look upon Spin That by Young Miami in a positive light. Now, I'm going to get to the comments that were made, but I just want to go ahead and preface this video because, again, some of the things that make waves these days, I understand that let's just be all the way completely frank, okay? Everybody's got a job to do at this point, from the clip pages to the YouTubers like myself to the real journalists, quote unquote, to the TV networks. Everybody's got a job to do. And the stories that become magnified, they're not hitting like the stories of yesteryear. Let's just be all the way frank. Let's be real for a moment before we even get into what's going on. Because what's going on to me is actually quite minute, very minuscule, very small. The news cycle is dry. It's been dry for longer than 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people blame the Kendrick and Drake battle for the hip hop discourse and stuff like that being dry and people wanting to find ways to keep milking it and circulating it. It was down bad before then, right? The controversy ain't controversying the way that it used to. So now every little thing is now amplified in order to create an ongoing news cycle so that all of the moving parts within this space continue to have a job. Okay? We're just going to put that on the table. We're going to cut the pleasantries and the bullshit, all right? Because I'm starting to feel like my intelligence is being insulted by some of the conversations. Now, with that being stated, we have Young Miami Spin That, which is basically, it's an anthem. It's a hood anthem at its core. It's a hood anthem. In the song, she said, "Where my scamming ass niggas at?" You know what I'm saying? Of course, Young Miami comes from Miami. The City Girls' whole shtick coming into the game was being scamming chicks, right? Scamming dudes out their money, their cards. You know what I'm saying? Enticing niggas with the poom poom and trying to hit the bait and switch, you know what I'm saying, and leave out with something. That was their whole get up. They found success with it. They were championed once upon a time. Like a lot of people, I don't know who's in the ecosystem today, but But the City Girls were a big deal, right? Over time, their influence began to dissipate, not because the people that identified with their music no longer identify with their music or the messaging in the music, let me be specific, but the music itself didn't live up to it. They weren't able to live up to the hype because they weren't really like experienced rappers. Young Miami, especially JT, is a workable rapper. They say they give her credit for being like this elite lyricist. She's not that, but she is the better of the two. But their musical quality went down, their influence went down. As a group, they fell apart. Just going to give a little bit of background as to, how we're here. So, of course, as they broke up, JT went off, did City Cinderella. She had a hit with OK. She had the remix with Jeezy. City Cinderella did OK. The song OK did a little bit better than OK. It got on Billboard Hot 100. JT's been trying to find her spot in the game ever since, right? Because again, the penmanship isn't super strong. So these two artists are constantly trying to find singles because they're not album artists. Not really. Young Miami on the other side, she got dropped from QC. They didn't like her music at all, right? They said, yo, you keep bringing us this fucking garbage. She started trying to tease music. She teased, trying to become a streamer at one point about a year ago. That didn't go so well. The talk about it ended as quick as it came. Of course, with the incarceration of Diddy over the course of the last couple years, that was her dude. She's been squirming, trying to figure it out. She's been trying to hustle, you know what I mean? From selling products on her website. She went out and did her own like mini tour, kind of how JT did previously. She teased some music. People didn't really want it. It wasn't really clicking. She comes with Spin That. Spin That is quintessentially City Girls 2.0 by herself, which I always thought was going to be her lane anyway. Her strong point was just going to be to lean into what got them there because y'all went away from it anyway. So we get this anthem, scamming, boosting, selling dope. Nothing out of the ordinary. We're talking about hip hop. We're talking about rap music. I don't know when the last time people endeavored to listen to rap music. I listen to it pretty much every day, talk about it every day. But these are the dominant topics in all of the music. Even in the so-called conscious rappers' music, they talk about the very same topics. Now, the spin or the angle on the topics may be different, but most of the time they're not vilifying people in the hood. They're telling their stories and trying to humanize it. So all of that comes to a head when we've got somebody that comes out on Threads who basically called for a boycott of Young Miami's Spin That. To me, when I listen to Spin That, I hear a less lyrical version of Hard Knock Life. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm not going to hold no punches. That's what I hear. Some people may say that's a blasphemous comparison, but I just literally said a non-lyrical version of Hard Knock Life. Okay? So let's get to the thread where all of this started. And let me correct myself. It wasn't about a boycott, but it was like somebody was complaining about the record and she chimed in. So here we are on Threads where this conversation began. 4 days ago, we got this guy. Here's why, Kevin. He says, this woman stood by and defended a man accused of rape, human trafficking, revenge porn, assault, attempted murder, and more. We all watched him beat the shit out of a young woman he groomed since she was 17 years old. She wrote a character witness statement on his behalf. She also doubled down on her statement that if her son were gay, she would beat his ass. And what did y'all do? Give her a quote unquote song of the summer. Y'all are the reason we'll never be free. So basically, rather than hone in on the song itself, he really just kind of did a breakdown of Young Miami's character, which when you put all of that in succession together, it doesn't sound all that great. Her defending Diddy, her Diddy apologist ways, her probably secretly still being in a relationship while he's incarcerated during that time with him. She just signed a motherfucking Uptown Records, the label where he started his career at. Yeah, it does look a little like something. Yeah, she couldn't sign the Bad Boy Entertainment. That fucking label's probably gonna be defunct. Who knows what he's gonna do when he bring his ass home? He probably gonna be the goddamn new CEO of Uptown for all we know. Who knows? Right? So he broke her down and used this photo of Young Miami. He says, y'all gave her the song of the summer. I mean, music strikes in a way, sometimes you just can't describe it. Sometimes the worst motherfucker on the planet got the biggest record. And, you know, I understand the side eye that comes with it. I've done it myself. Used to do it all the time, once upon a time. Especially when I used to think I was like really better than people as far as like my hip hop takes and shit like that. I've the version y'all got today is definitely not who I used to be. Anyway, so India Arie chimes in. She says, I finally realized that not everybody wants to get free. And it was a very, very, very rude awakening, SMH, because the mass acceptance of this song is a crystal clear sign of this much bigger truth. Okay? So she didn't say the song needed to be banned. She didn't say, I can't believe my ears. She just chimed in on what the original person was talking about. She gave her standpoint, which basically feels like a cosign of his statement. But again, we're talking about India Arie. I would not expect anything different. Now, did she have to chime in on it? No, she did not. I know some people will probably have that perspective. Why speak at all? You know what this does. And again, in the landscape we live in today, very true. I don't see anything wrong with what she said here, right? Everybody does not want to be free. We talk about that all the time. I could have swore some people said, hey man, if ain't it that Harriet Tubman used to hit niggas with the shotgun or something like that? Right? If Harriet Tubman lived today, how many motherfuckers would not go with her? How many niggas would have to get clapped with the shotgun? Like, there's so many variations of the sentiment. Everybody does not view liberation through the same lens. Let me just break it down in simplest terms, right? Some people view liberation as a holistic experience, mind, body, soul, breaking free from the Western colonization, all of that type of stuff. I can identify with that. Some people just say, man, liberation for me is getting to a motherfucking bag, being able to do what I need to do, feed my kids, feed myself, have gas in this motherfucking whip, go to this job I hate, make my ass home safe. And whatever I got to do in the meantime in order to do that, if I got to sell a little crack, get off a couple pills, sell some goddamn stolen clothes or whatever, as long as I'm not physically harming somebody in the way that we know I'm not violent, then it is what it is. And I can identify with that too because of where I come from and the people that I know and what I've seen in my life. Two sides of the spectrum. Some of us can understand both. Some cannot. Some will not. Some don't want to. Cool. Difference in ideology. Who gives a fuck, right? So this stuff starts picking up steam on social media. People start looking at India Arie like she's a hater. I don't think India Arie is a fucking hater, man. I do not. You know what I'm saying? But when you are somebody who wants to see the best out of humanity, especially from your own people, sometimes it's gonna line you up against the popular views. Does not mean you're a hater. It just means you have a difference of opinion. And for today, I gotta go up against the difference, if that's what it is, to get you to understand me. Unfortunately, today, doing that, people are not going to understand you. They're going to understand whatever idea they have of you to the 100th power. Right? It is what it is. Just how it happens. As this stuff is picking up steam, India Arie comes back out 3 days ago, very next day. She says, I spent my entire adult life caring way too much. because I finally learned that not everybody cares with a capital C. And explaining it to them is not going to make them care. Everything you listen to or see or eat is going to influence you. So make wise choices, y'all. So next day she comes out and says, hey, man, I've been out this bit caring too much. I've been trying to help people. I've been trying to open people's minds. I've been trying to do the work, so, as they call it, for the greater good of the people. You got to let that shit go, right? Although your heart and your spirit may feel pulled as you learn to embrace this, that you can't save everybody, right? But you got to understand that not everybody cares with a capital C, and explaining it to them is not going to make them care. You can talk to you blue in the face. You can reason with people. You can spell it out. You can put it in subtitles and captions. It's not going to matter if a person is dedicated to not fucking with you or what they hearing out your mouth, right? She then gets into the influence. Everything you listen to, see, or E is going to influence you. Hey, man, I know some people that feel that very same way. I am not of that mindset personally, right? Everything I listen to is going to influence me. No, it's not, right? What I think is cool influences me. What I think is okay influences me. What I think is righteous influences me. What I do not decide to internalize, perhaps you'll say, once you ingest it into your body, however it may be, it may have an effect on you. Perhaps, maybe there's some mental psychology, fucking biology shit to back that up. But for the most part, no. Right? I could watch motherfuckers get killed in a movie. I could watch a motherfucker get shot. I could watch a serious ass film, somebody crying, going through depression. I could go to church. I could go eat church's chicken, come home, and still be the same me that left before I encountered that shit. I'm be the same nigga. Right? So I don't completely agree, but I understand that not everybody has the same willpower. Not everybody has the same bandwidth of the mind or discernment or wisdom in how they interact with the world. So I understand where she's coming from. She says, so make wise choices, y'all. I'm not telling y'all the choice to make. Just make wise ones for yourself. I have no problem with what India Arie says here. I don't give a damn. Following day, we get this lady here. I'm sorry, ma'am, the socialist. I'm not going to listen to your video, but I will read your quote. She says, critique the music if you want, but calling for a boycott of another Black woman's success during her moment feels different. In industries that already make it difficult for us to thrive, should we be tearing each other down or allowing room for different expressions of Black womanhood? Okay. India Arie chimed in. She decided to respond on Threads. And this is why I corrected myself earlier, because she did not call for a boycott. And I want to be clear about that. She said, I did not and do not call for a boycott. Also, I've never been in quote unquote Hollywood. She then posts screenshots of some statements that we're going to pull up here. Okay. Let me see if y'all can see this shit. So she says, for anybody who cares to actually see the comment, this post, here they are. Or the comments that sparked this post, excuse me. Here they are. She's reiterating. 1, I spent my entire adult life caring way too much because I finally learned that not everybody cares with a capital C, and explaining it to them is not going to make them care. Everything you listen to, see, or eat is going to influence you, so make wise choices, y'all. We just went over that. 2, finally realized that not everybody wants to get free, and it was a very, very, very rude awakening. SMH, because the mass acceptance of this song is a crystal clear sign of this much bigger truth. What I did not say is that everybody needs to wake up. What I did not say, that there was a problem to be fixed. I called it the truth that I personally don't like, which is my right. She's completely right there. Well, she did not say that the song needs to be boycotted, because I don't believe that. Everybody's going to make the choices they want to make. What does boycotting have to do with it? So, if you don't like my comments, at least don't like what I actually said instead of what somebody's telling you I said. LOL. I did not say that my rude awakening came from seeing people singing this song at the BET Awards. I actually did not watch the BET Awards, okay? So she's putting it very plainly like, hey, these are the statements that I made. They were in reference to Young Miami and the song, but I did not call for a boycott. I did not say everybody needs to wake up, all of these different things. I just said, I've realized that not everybody wants to get free. Everybody's not going to be on this same path, and trying to force people on this path is not going to work. Right? Again, 50-year-old woman, I don't expect her to say anything different. Clarity. As a person who really thought we were supposed to be working towards world peace, I really had to recalibrate. I don't think humanity is meant for peace. The rude awakening I speak of came over the last 6 years. I learned that it is not my place to help anybody do anything. It is only my place to be myself. And I'm always going to do that. Do I like the song? No. Does it matter if I like it? No. Do I need to like for you to like it? No. I will not be addressing this again. If you want to hear my real thoughts, they're on my Substack. The end. Damn, you got a whole Substack? Ah, shit. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I found the Substack, but it was basically this video, which is a longer version. It was 20 minutes. I'm like, we're not finna sit through 20 minutes. I'm sorry. That's with all love and respect to India Arie. I'm actually a fan. I'm not the girl on your video. That's my shit. Brown skin. You know I know you. Brown skin. My shit. Right? I ain't mad at India for saying what she said, because I don't expect no different. You know what I mean? I don't expect my mama to hear motherfucking Spin That by Young Miami and have sanctimonious things to say about the record. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to be real about who we're talking about and the context of where it fits in our ecosystem. But anyway, I'll let her speak a little bit. I'm probably not even going to play this whole 12 minutes because there's more shit to get to. We got to still get the goddamn Trick Daddy ass. So we'll get the gist of what she's going to say here and kind of move forward.
Oh boy. Hello, hello. Hey, hello, hello. That's the Erykah Badu version, by the way. Hello, hello. Hey, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Okay. I have marks from my glasses. My third album, Testimony Volume 1, Life and Relationship, turned 20 years old on Friday the 27th. It snuck up on me. Somebody had to tell me. And so that's why I'm making a video right now instead of writing about this on my Substack, which if you know me, you know, I like writing on my Substack.
Respect.
And you don't need to see that bowl back there. Okay. And I've been in the blogs a couple times this last week. And so I wanted to come and talk about these things. Let's talk about the easy one first. It is being wrongly reported that I think we should boycott this song of the summer. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I refuse to sing that song, but either you know what it is or you don't. And if you don't, you can go find it. It's very easy. But I don't think we should boycott. What I want is to see people understand the power of words and music and to make choices that are healthy for them. That's what I want. Do I think it matters what I want for people? No. I have finally learned that it doesn't matter and that there's no amount of sacrificing my life force energy that is going to make anybody want anything better for themselves. All I can do is emanate what I emanate, stand for what I stand for, and hope that it reaches who it's meant to reach. And that's it. And that's all I'm going to do. And so my comment makes it very clear that I don't think we should boycott. My comment is tantamount to everybody doesn't want the same thing. And there are a lot of people who are saying it's just a song. Well, if that's what you think, enjoy. But what I know is that music has power. But of course, I have used that power to help some people. And I have traveled around this world twice. And I see the impact of what we export out of the Black American experience to the rest of the world. Longer story for another time. But I've seen it. So I know. And I'm telling you what it is. But you enjoy, if that's what you want to do. And I will enjoy doing what I want to do. And that's why I don't think anybody needs to boycott. I think people just need to make choices for themselves. That's what I think. That's one. Two, also, this is a short version of a longer video. I put a much longer video where I go into detail about these concepts on my Substack. So go check that out if you're interested. Two, I was also in the blogs because I made comments about Clive Davis. And I said, watch what kind of stories you're going to see coming out about him. I signed my record deal when I was 22 years old. And so I learned about human nature through the lens of the music industry. So I got a full hot dose of all of it. And I know what kind of stories are going to go. I don't need to say anything more because we're
going to pause it right there because, yeah, shit. What DMX first album say is dark and hell is hot. Yeah. Clive Davis, hey man, it's about to get real. It's about to get real. We talking about the Diddler. That was his big guy. You know what I mean? Shit finna get ugly out here. So I understand where she's coming from, especially as he's now deceased. So it ain't gonna be no holes barred on what people are coming to the table with. Yeah, it's finna get dark and hell is hot. Okay, I'm gonna let India Arie get back to it.
I'm gonna hear the stories. You're already hearing the stories. If you're on social media, you hear some of it's true, some of it's not true, some of it's conspiracy, some of it's what's the word? Exaggerated, but a lot of it's true. And it's not my place to tell stories of people close to me, but I've heard some stories and I have my own experience. And again, it was wrongly reported that I talked about our working relationship. I did not have a working relationship with him. But I was certainly at the effect of his power. So I go further into that on my Substack if you're interested. And the third thing, when I made the Clive Davis comments, people were saying, well, speak on it, sis. Like, tell us what you think. Like, like they wanted me to, because in my comment, I said, I don't need to go into my story because people have far worse stories than me. I called my experiences with Clive Davis an irritation, and it was an irritation. But I have stories. And that's why I decided to make this video today because, again, I go into the longer version on my Substack, but Testimony Volume 1, Life and Relationship, turned 20 years old on Friday, June 27th, and the record label executive that I did that album under, is the one and only I did with this executive, was honored the other day at the BET Awards.
So you're wrong.
I don't need to say her name. You can go find her name. You know who she is if you watch the BET Awards. And she did things to me that were so hurtful and so offensive. And I go into that in the longer Substack video. But what really happened in that era was coercion. That's how I know what coercion is. I know a version of it. Because coercion is when somebody puts you, why is my rap doing this? Coercion is when somebody puts you in a situation where you have to decide if you're going to destroy everything, destroy yourself, or do what they're telling you to do. And I signed to Motown under a different record label executive. So when they kicked him out, I had to stay with her. And so all the things that me and this other record label executive had planned, I had to recalibrate. And that she coerced me into things. And there's a much longer story, again, on my Substack. But the thing I want to share with you today is that Testimony Volume 1 had 2 album covers. I'm going to put them here on this video. One of them was the one I had for a good 8 months. And to me, that was the cover. We worked so hard on this cover. My graphic designer, Anna Valencia Lee Brooke. Is that your whole name, Anna? I don't know why that just came out like that. But she's really my friend, Anna, who is also my graphic designer. We met through Motown. She worked on that cover so long, and we just both knew that that was it. And then this record label executive basically said, well, you don't have to put your album out because I don't like it.
Damn.
She said I looked too muscular.
Wow.
She even used the words, it looks like Serena.
That's crazy.
Which...
Yeah, what you mean by that?
In my world, that's a compliment, because...
Serena
is body goals.
Right. Fuck you talking about?
But that's a whole nother conversation for another time. And they forced me to either not put my album out or make a different cover. And I made a different one. And the one I made was ridiculous to me at the time. Have you ever heard the saying, a horse is a camel? A camel is a horse. The saying, scratch. The saying is, a camel is a horse designed by committee. You get it? So it's basically saying, like, what's this weird thing that looks like a horse, but it's not a horse? Because once everybody has their hands all in it, then it turns into this weird thing. And that's how I felt about the cover that most of you have seen for Testimony Volume 1, where I'm standing in front of the tree and I got the skirt that's blowing back. I'm standing grounded in front of a tree. They made me do that. And there's a lot of editing, the head, the angle of the head. Okay. They edited pieces of my hair in, and it just ended up looking like this thing. In hindsight, I don't dislike it as much as I did back then, but there was the coercion piece. So, of course, I hated it at the time, but it's what I had to do.
And on top of a motherfucker saying we ain't got to put it out, period, because I don't like your shit. You know what I mean? I'm going to cut this here because we're actually not here to talk about this. This is really about the Young Miami situation. However, once again, if you want to hear the full story, go on India Arie's Substack. She's mentioned it 4 times in this video. I'm not being condescending. I'm actually going to check it out for myself because I think her experience from what she experienced 20 years ago is still happening today. And I actually want to get the insight from her. She's one of the people out here that are willing to speak on her experience in the industry, positive, negative, and different. She's experienced so many different things. She's been around the world, won 4 Grammys, did the whole thing, did the dance, did it twice, did it nice. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and check this shit out. But for the interest of time in this video, I will not continue respectfully. And the reason I needed to pivot is so that we could get to this motherfucker right here, Trick Daddy. Trick Daddy disses India Arie for not liking Young Miami Spin That song. This is a quote here. They say, leave that young lady alone because if you see how pretty is, and I'm guessing he meant how pretty she is, you don't look like her. It's giving hate. You ain't shaped like her. You shaped like me. What the fuck does any of that have to do with India Arie's opinion of a poppin' trending song? Now we doing fucking pretty politics? What the fuck is that? Look at her and look at you. Look how pretty she is. You don't look like her. You hate her because you don't look like her. You ain't shaped like her. No, nigga, we not doing that. You better call Sweetie for that shit, nigga. We not doing that.
First of all, I'm gonna say shout out to my little homegirl, Young Miami. Got the hottest record on radio, streets, video, all social media platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, all that shit, YouTube. The finest little shit in the game right now. And everybody is jamming this record except a few old centrals. Let me tell you old something. That's why I don't you old right now. That's why I would not my one of you old old because you old is
this is come on, man. We're not doing that trick, man. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that, man. You old, nigga. That's the goal, is to fucking get old and be prosperous out this bitch, be fruitful, live long, have some wisdom to pass down. We're not doing that shit, man. Don't nobody give a fuck who you like to sleep with, nigga. Do you think for 1 second India Arie will be attracted to you? And that's not with making any comments about your appearance. But do you think for 1 motherfucking second India Arie would look at you, Mr. Eat a Booty Gang, and be like, oh yeah, Trick, yeah, that's what's enticing to me. Stop it, man. Stop it. And you only make yourself worse talking about something you refuse to stick your thing in an older woman, a woman that your age that would be more appropriate. You only make yourself look worse. Nowhere did India Arie disrespect Young Miami. She didn't make no comments about her look. She did not make no comments really about the motherfucking song because she don't even want to entertain it. She's more so looking at the messaging of it and the influence of it, which is a fair point. Elders always make these points. It goes in one ear and out the other, just like it did in the fucking 80s when Ice-T was out, when NWA was out, when Eazy-E was by his goddamn self. If it don't apply, let it fly. She did not disrespect Young Miami. She didn't say Young Miami looked chopped. She looked a motherfucking mess. She ain't do none of that.
Too modern and too plain, outdated. The game done passed you by. Do you think Young Miami give a fuck about you don't like her record? You take our time to go on social media to down talk a girl. We've been talking negativity in every music, every song since before I even started doing music, and I've been doing it motherfucking 30 years. I'm about you bitches' age. You bitches say something about me. Leave that little young lady alone. Because if you see how pretty she is, you don't look like her. So it giving me hate.
Ridiculous.
A little bit. You see how fine she is. You ain't shaped like her.
Ridiculous.
You shaped like me. If you shape like me, you do not have no motherfucking grounds. You don't have a dog in the fight to be getting on the social media, down talking to this young lady who's doing something positive and successful. You got to raise your own fucking kids. If you let music raise your kids, that's your.
She didn't say nothing about her kids, bro. She said nothing about her kids. I'm sure her kids may not even be aware of this motherfucking record. I'm sure her kids have had their own wealth of experiences and travels in the circles that she runs with in her personal life. She didn't say nothing about that shit, man. She didn't say, oh, I hate this influence that this is going to have on my kids. She said none of these things. So you're now commenting on something that's not even relevant to what she had to say. Yes, she did talk about making decisions and making wise ones and being influenced, but she didn't say children. She was looking at the adults in the room like, y'all motherfuckers don't want to get free neither. Looks like we might be looking at one, and it's cool. Do you, be you. She gonna be her, you gonna be you. Difference of opinion are supposed to be able to coexist. I don't understand why disagreeing always has to lead to disrespect. That's some shit that we gotta fucking get ironed out in 2026, is why disagreements always lead to disrespect rather than respectful discourse. It's a fucking shame. Communication is in shambles, bro.
You bad, bruh.
Bad,
always talking about it. Man, let the girl get up.
Man, stop it, man. Stop it, Trick. Bad breath, bitches. Huh? Now, people done said your ass smell like the motherfucking high school gym bathroom, bro. Stop it, bro. These are things people done said about you in real life. Stop it.
Motherfucking money. All the negative records in the world that came out and people have made plenty motherfucking money off of. Y'all want to talk down on the young lady because she got a hit record, a hot record? You think that's gonna stop? You don't see she climbing the charts every day? Y'all leave Young Miami alone and spin that shit. Again, shout out to Young Miami. Got the hottest record in the fucking world. Not just the country. The hottest record in the world. They singing this shit in China, in Russia, in Ethiopia, goddammit. Shout out to Young Miami. One of the baddest shit, the finest little shit in the game right now.
Did you start this motherfucker over?
You bad body old bitches, not one fuck to be giving how you feel about this young girl and her song. All the negative music that come out, you want to simply try to target a young black female that's doing something positive, that's in her bag right now. You talked about her bag when she put out certain singles. You talked about her over and over again with situations with who the nigga she was dealing with. Everything y'all get on this fucking internet and act like y'all life is all peaches and cream. But I know you old bad breath smelling ass bitches. I know you bitches. I know
What
you.
is going
I know
on?
you mad. I know you hoes is mad and you jealous. You look at that young fine girl on that stage rocking each clubs each and every night, these appearances, these hosts. She dropping her hottest single out there. Young Miami, you better not let these old ragla ass bitches deter nothing you trying to do. That's why I don't fuck you old bitches. That's why I would not fuck one of you old bitches, because the game done passed you by, bitch. You still stuck in the motherfucking 50s and the 60s. I don't want no old bitch.
Yeah, we're not doing that, bro. We gave you 3 minutes, 45 seconds, man. We done with that, man. He's a goner. Not doing that, man. Cause these young women, they gonna lay with you because you got your business and stuff, and you trick daddy, and whatever remnants that you still have from your career, because you had a very fruitful career as well, as far as your music, your man, baby. Cause I'm a trick daddy. Why do you gotta be this person? Used to bump that shit. Okay. What's up? Shut up, nigga. Come on, man. God damn. Carisha did not need that. I understand y'all from the same place. That's your little one. I get it. Y'all want to protect home. I get it. That's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it. You supposed to be an OG. You supposed to be able to, you should. And this is just me looking at the industry holistically, right? Not in reality, but you should be the one who could be able to get India Arie on the phone and set up a conversation and say, hey, man, y'all talk about this. If it's important enough for you to come out and talk about it in the fashion that you're doing, it should be important enough for you to find 15, 20 minutes of your day. Say, y'all just have a conversation, man. We all in this industry. We all do this shit. We all have our different messaging. We have our different images, our different outlooks, perspectives, ideologies, what have you. But we all in this shit together. We black people in this motherfucking music industry making money, trying to figure out, make a living, raise our families, have productive lives. Ain't no reason why we should be coming to the square with this fuck shit over nothing. Over nothing. Now, all of it could have been avoided. Yes. Not having an opinion, that's clearly what keeps the slate clean. But she didn't really disparage. Now, she commented on somebody post who was looking at Young Miami's character. She didn't make any statements about Young Miami's character. She just said, I've come to the realization everybody does not want to be free. And based on her experience, her life, things that she's encountered, things that we've seen in the world, she ain't lying. She ain't fucking lying. But I don't see that as the end of the world. This stuff is just going too far, man. Golly. Now that I've consumed everything I've seen, heard, listened to, all of that, guess what? I'm still the same as I was before. My point that I was saying about India Arie before, her statement, I still sit squarely in the middle. I think Spin That is a very catchy record. It's a hot record. It comes on. It's cool with me. I ain't tripping. It's not going to influence me to rob nobody, boost, sell no dope, scam. I ain't doing none of that shit. Don't make no difference to me. Right? I saw Jay White, the producer of the record, put up like a remix where they was using one of India Arie's songs and all that shit. They tried to make it a little jokey joke or whatever. I didn't really care for that either. But I understand everybody wants to get their little piece in to defend themselves. I ain't too keen on that either. Disagree. Don't disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Definitely don't use this woman's music, because that could be a whole nother thing. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, I think, like I said in the beginning, much to do about nothing. That's where I sit. It's a lot of noise. It's a lot of frequencies moving around. But at the end of the day, nothing's going to change. The song is popular. It's climbing the charts. I think it's top 25. It jumped like 10 spots on Billboard in the last week or some shit. I wouldn't be surprised if it jumps 5, 6 more slots next week, especially with all the talk around it. It's only going to get people to play it more. India Arie is going to continue to be who she is in the communities that she walks in. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think we need people like her. Young Miami, she's got a hit. She needed that hit. She's a new signee under a new label. She got a hit up on the board. She needed that. Otherwise, it could have been straight up curtains for her career. You know what I'm saying? She needed that. Do we need the record? No, but it's working. People like it, and adults love it. Is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And my final point is this. For anybody who feels like this Young Miami record is a problem, if you feel like we need better examples, if you feel that we need more support for the ladies in hip hop that don't make that style of music, I got a solution for you. The same one everybody brings up. Rhapsody just dropped a new album. God, what is it? God Wears Gold Hoops or something like that. God got an afro and gold hoops. We're going to listen to it this weekend. But go support that. Right? There's your alternative. Tierra Whack dropped a week ago. Support that. You know what I'm saying? Go find the ladies in hip hop that speak to you. There's a lot of them that need your support, that need your love. But until we could get artists like that to get a fraction, 20, 30% of the support that these other people receive, it's all lip service. Feels good, but what does it really do at the end of the day? So we all come out of this the exact same as we came in. That's my assessment of the situation. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Peace.
Yeah, family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'm never politicking, the drama be piling on. Father and great son acknowledged like I'm Bobby Bonds. Conversation with my lady about the paper route. 5 sit bank accounts, every day I make it count. They down talking my commentary for hating now. Well, I can take it cause I'm bodying your favorite now, please. I can do this shit in my sleep. I been writing for these niggas, y'all read it and weep. I been fighting these niggas if you speak on the street. I turn your birthday party into New Year's Eve. Don't let me take it there. We ain't playing fair. This the ATL, Southside nigga moving furniture like Wayfair. Life on hold, no insurance for your healthcare. Lifeline gone, so you wanna be a millionaire? Well, let me tell you about this world I built. The women I dodged, the niggas that I read for filth. The sympathy calls, consulting for the stakes I built. I had